never stop to notice the fire in your head, a burning so consuming, but now I understand.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 6 Scores walkthrough. This is the first mission, it's entitled the Berrics, and this is going to be a pretty quick mission of all the objectives. The first one was the DVD, the next one is the tape, then it's going to be skate, combo, and it's going to be each of the individual objectives. I was tempted to put them into separate videos, but when I looked on YouTube there were a lot of people doing that, and I didn't really want to join them because there was a lot. But this is a weird game, and it has to be said, folks, the stuff they've changed is mind-bogglingly stupid. Anyone who liked Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, 2 and 3 is going to be okay with certain features of this game, but other features are going to really frustrate them. And the content you're watching right now is before the patch. I haven't installed it. I'm currently installing it now, and it's taking forever. We're at 84%. It's been going for nearly 3.5 hours. And apparently it's going to help with stability. I have no idea. So far, I've only had one moment where I've fallen off and it was kind of weird. Everything else has been fine, no real glitches. But it's just the gameplay, dude. The gameplay is... oh, it's so... If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm trying to get on that rail that's got the skate letter on it. But I'm playing as Tony Hawk. I didn't want to. The game didn't give me a choice. I just went into it and here I am. I have not used any stat points, so this entire first level is done without any stats. But it's just the game, man. The game is so strange. The frame rate's a piece of shit. It chugs like a motherfucker for no real reason. The graphics are horrendous, so I don't know why the frame rate's so bad. The level's not that big. The soundtrack so far is pretty average, but it's got my favourite Killer Be Killed song, which I really like. The moves seem to be kind of simplified. I can't find a move list to find any of the more advanced techniques. When you activate special, the game turns all your normal moves into special moves, so you don't even have to put the commands in anymore and do any of the more advanced stuff, which was the fun for me. You can't augment manuals or grinds into different moves by pressing combinations of buttons, so you're limited to the most boring, most mundane looking stunts to do anything interesting with. Like, the level design is questionable at best so far, and nowhere near as interesting compared to maybe like Tony Hawk's 3, hell, Tony Hawk's 2, or even Tony Hawk's 1. And the way that you activate the missions, you can either go and stand on those weird things and do them that way, or you can do them from a menu, which is the best way of doing it, because it's just ugly, dude. It's presented in such a shambles way. It's so unintuitive and annoying. There are times when the start button doesn't work. Like, it's a fucking mess. But the 30 minutes I played where I recorded this, and a lot of the stuff you're watching here, guys, is my very first attempt at stuff, I had a lot of fun. Because I used to love these games. I played Tony Hawk's 1, 2 and 3 so much. We're talking stupid amounts of time in those games. One of the things that I'm really struggling with on this so far is when you press grind, it slams your board into the ground. So it can make you go down before you've hit the rail, and it can make you essentially premature on grinding, which is really weird. Why would they pick it as that button? I have no idea. I went into the options menus to turn it off. You can't turn it off. So it's just part of the game. But this is the first level of, I think, 6 levels. Obviously the objectives are going to get tougher. The only objective I struggled with on this, and when I say struggle, it took me 2 or 3 attempts, was the ice cream one. And I didn't realise the ice cream repopulate once you pick them up. So I was trying to get all of them in the level in one run, and then running it back, and I couldn't do it. It was really tough. Then as soon as I realised you can just do that start path again, I got it first attempt. But this is the first mission, folks, the first 6 score. Halcyon High get 150,000 points. So one thing that is kind of annoying, once you get the 6 score, you can't just say end, I don't think. So you have to wait till the end. This could be wrong, you might be able to quit out, but I didn't try it. So I'm going to get this score in 1 or 2 combos, because as I've mentioned, I've played a few of these games before. It's not too bad once you know what you're doing. And then there's a minute and like 18 seconds left, you know, to kick your heels. And of course, I could have, you know, done more stunts and gone for a high score, but I'm already telling you now, folks, I just don't like how the moves work on this game. I don't feel like I'm in control of them. I don't feel like, you know, I can pick my special grind. It doesn't feel like it should, in my opinion. But there was the score anyhow, and I trimmed it out for you so you can see 150,000. gets you a stat point, levels you up a little bit, and then it's moving on to the next mission. Next mission is Big Head... what was it called? Big Head Berrics. So you have to do 65 seconds without your head exploding. How this works is there's a percentage bar on the screen. When it gets up to 100%, your head will explode. I think if you're in the middle of a combo, it doesn't explode. If you bail, it will, of course. And all you want to do here is string moves together to make his head shrink. And as much as I appreciate the gimmick and the arcadiness of having a floating head like this, it makes it very difficult to see where you're going. And on the ice cream one, it blocks out the ice creams. It's so stupid. But if you've never really played these games before and you're having issue, the thing you need to always get into the habit of doing is whenever you come off a rail or a ramp, after a ramp you want to press revert, which is press the right trigger as you land, and then immediately press up down or down up to go into a manual. Whenever you come off a ledge and there's nothing in front of you to grind, go into a manual. And if you do this, you're going to chain your moves together, and before you know it, you're going to have a really, really big score happening. Like just then, that combo I did just then was high enough to get the 6th score on the previous mission. So the points will come really thick and fast if you know how to do them. And one of the most important things to know is the more you do a move, the more it degrades. So you get diminished returns. And the thing with this game, I always think, just as a general rule, is when you do all the moves. Like the first time you do a move, maybe do 2 of them and spin while you do it. So you're spinning, you're doing multiples, boom, good score. The next one, do a different move, multiple times, spin while you do it. That kind of stuff. Like as long as you're spinning, as long as you're going, up an X, down an X, down left an X, down right an X, and the same with the grab button, you're going to have some interesting stuff. This one took me 2 attempts. In the end, can you hear how it sounds like I'm pushing on my board? And I am pushing on my board like that. I'm tapping the right trigger to revert, but I'm not actually doing reverts, and I found that it feels like it makes you go faster. So all I'm doing there, guys, is holding down A to go forward, tapping the right trigger to revert, but not doing any reverts, and it gave me the speed to hit them hard. I don't know if it's a glitch, I don't know what it is, it worked. So there you go. But this is the hardest one in this first level. You have to pick up ice creams and cash them in at the pool. Sometimes when you jump in the pool, it doesn't trigger as a caching because once again the game's glitchy as fuck. Also, if you fall down, you will lose your ice creams. The worst part is his head's gonna swell, and when your head swells it's really hard to see where the ice creams are. So I started this off pretty rough, but I'm gonna pull it back towards the end. After this it gets a bit rough again. You go to the right here, pick up that one, spin around, pick up the other ones. And then from here, what you want to do is go to your left, jump over that little mound, but I didn't do it, I just hit that like an idiot. And then on this, I'm going to grind back towards the pool, and then I'm going to do the start bit again. And hopefully, I'll do it a bit better this time. So go to your left, dump them in the pool, and getting out of pools can be a work of art. If you're manual, you can get out of them sometimes. If you jump just as you come to the lip, you can hop over them, and if you do the spine transfer, that will work as well. I'm a big no-comply kind of guy, so repeat the same opening grind, go up over this, that's a much better way of doing it, into the grind, and then you don't have to go this way if you don't want to, but this is the path I went, it wastes some time. And then you want to come back on yourself and go over these grinds here. Onto that grind again, which I missed for some reason, into this one, into that one, and then you can do the ones to my right again. You need 28. As soon as you get 28, hit the pool. Now I've got 28, we're going to go towards it, and you'll notice it's going to give us exactly 60. And that was a sloppy run as well, you could do that much faster. But all I want is the 6th score, I'm not interested in anything afterwards, I'm not interested in chasing high scores, just getting it done, helping you folks out. Next mission. What is it, Taciturn? What did it say, Taciturn Tony? So Tony's going to say do moves, and if you do them, it's going to build combo. The faster you do them, the better. I found some of the detection on the manuals was weird. I did the manual it asked for and it didn't go away, so just bear with that. But best case scenario here is if you get good at RNG. If you get RNG where Tony asks for nothing but tricks and you can keep doing them rapid fire, you get loads of points really quick. Every so often though, it'll cock block you with a lot of grinds. So ideally you want to be doing this on a grind rail if you can, but I prefer no speed at all, kind of standing still, just jumping and doing them. But there was the pro score, there's the grind, there's the indie, kickflip, manual, shove it, another grind, heel flip, manual, You can also do manuals without jumping. You don't have to jump into a manual. You can just do it from a neutral stance. And as you can see, we're very close to 500 points now, which is the 6th score, I think. Then again, don't quote me on it. This was the second time I've done this one, I think. First time I failed. And there it is. Oh, sorry, 300 points for the 6th score, my bad. But there it was, simple stuff. Next one is... It's way too hard to read on this monitor. Glendale Grind. So, score is derived from the distance you grind multiplied by your trick multiplier. We need 3,000 points. I didn't understand this at all. I know it sounds simple, and it is simple, but at the time I was like, okay, do a lot of grinds. So, I got a combo going there, 16,000 points, and then my grind distance makes it 66 points. So I got no points for what I just did. So it's like, okay, let's try and do for some distance. There's a times 15, that should be okay. Up onto here, times 17. And that gave me, what, 400 points? That's not a lot. So, I'm like, I really need to go to somewhere where I can just grind in a circle, which is the pool, which is the best area for this. But you'll notice I do this path quite a lot. And this one works a little bit better for me. And I tried to grind on the top rail, didn't get it, wasn't spinning enough, and I bailed, which is always funny to see. So this place is pretty good too, because you can hop off the wall on this bit. Hop off the wall at the end and come back on yourself. And it's a really good way of just building easy points. And all it is here is balancing. If you've got high stats on balancing, it'll be easier to do. That wasn't intended to be a manual, but there it was. It was intended to try and do a special grind, but you don't have to put the inputs in. So when I pressed down, up, and grind, I ended up doing a manual on the rail. Because like, you don't have to press a button. You just press grind and he does a special. It's so stupid. I hate it, and I want to change it. Like, I'm all for making the game easier for people who can't play, but have like a beginner mode, and then have a normal mode, so that people who want to do the button inputs can do the button inputs. Don't give me a fucking DP shortcut. I don't want it. I want to learn to do the motion. What was this again? Hang time points. Okay, it wants you to do points in the air, so we're going to go over to the ball because it's the easiest place. When you're holding A, release it as you get to the edge and you'll get extra height. And all you want to do here, guys, is flip tricks, spin, revert, manual into another one, and you should be able to do this in 1 or 2 moves as long as you don't fall down. And there are times when the character doesn't spin. I don't know if you've had that. That was just shitty, but we've already done it, so we're okay. And that's me trying to quit it. But instead, I trim it out for you. So you need 5,000 points. I ended up with 9,000 at the end, and that's not even, you know, really trying to score, so you should be fine with that one. And once again, folks, if I might come across arrogant saying that these aren't that difficult, bear in mind, this is only the first level and they are going to get harder, and additionally, I've put years into the old games. I was really good at Tony Hawk's 3. We're talking... My high scores were tens of millions, 20 million odd, on some of those levels in 2 minutes. Because, you know, I played it all the time. I loved it. And I played it on the GameCube because that's how baller I am. But it just makes me sick, this. It makes me so sick watching that. But there you go. That was that. You need 75,000 for that score. So pretty simple stuff. Now this one I failed because I didn't get the jump at the end. I didn't go high enough. And the trick here is, of course, if you've got high speed statistic, you'll be faster, so you'll do this quicker, but also grinding. Grinding gives you the momentum you need to speed yourself up. And on the old games, when you modified a grind by pressing Y twice, or by pressing, you know, down and Y, left and right, left, right, Y, right, left, right, up, down, or whatever, it sped your character up slightly. So if you spammed into different stances on the rail, getting higher multipliers, you moved quicker. So it would be really good for this because it would speed you up. But it doesn't on this, so instead you just have to be quick, and there you go. So 26 seconds, you need 30, it's pretty lenient, that one. And then there's Attack of the Drones. So I failed this one a few times, because on this you have to be quite precise. And the problem is, pressing Y to come down quickly, short of hitting the drone. If you don't hit the drone quick enough, it can be bad news, as I wait around on the menu there for longer than necessary. But you need to do it in 25 seconds. I think I failed this 2 or 3 times before I got it. The path is really easy. It's just making sure that the grinds pay off and give you that extra boost, and making sure you don't overjump the drone. If you overjump it, most frustrating thing in the world. When you go up a ramp, if you press grind, he'll come down quicker. You'll see me do it now on this one. Oh no, you won't. Interesting, that worked in my favour actually. Gave me a really good speed boost. So this, be careful. If you grind that rail, there are times where you'll go around the corner and you'll miss your jump, and then this is the tough bit. Hitting that in time is the one you might struggle on, but once you've done that, folks, that is all the normal scores with 6 scores, and we'll be moving on to the next mission, which is the beach. So thank you very much for watching. Is this game worth buying? Probably only if you really liked the old Tony Hawks, and even then, it's kind of like pissing on your dreams, but I am having fun. And it's such a shame, because this license deserved better. These games were great once. Not anymore.